Season 2 is right around the corner in MLB the Show 24. In this video, we are going to go over everything that you need to do to be prepared for the launch on June 7th. First, let's talk about the big changes coming to Season 2, starting off with the XP reward path. Season 1 was met with a ton of criticism in just how long it took to earn any of the XP bosses. Andy Pettitte, Larry Walker, and Jimmy Rollins are almost unattainable for players that aren't able to play almost every day, and if you weren't able to take part in any of the double XP weekends, you're going to have a heck of a time. Now, it wasn't confirmed where they would be in your XP reward path, just mentioned that you'll be able to get it earlier. Now, easily the most impactful change coming in Season 2 is the fact that we can no longer use Season 1 cards once it switches over. The big focus then goes to the wild card slots. We have 4 in total, but you are going to need to unlock them to allow you to use other Season 1 cards in these slots. Now, it was confirmed in their release that the first wild card spot will unlock at 200,000 XP in the Season 2 reward path. So until you get to 200,000 XP in the Season 2 reward path, you're not going to be able to use any cards in those wild card spots. You need to unlock the first one at 200k. Now, SDS is giving us a head start program, and by completing all 5 of these specific challenges before June 7th, it will give you a head start in the XP path, jumping you all the way to 200,000 XP, getting you that first wildcard spot on day 1. So here are the 5 things that you need to complete before June 7th. You cannot do it afterwards. Number 1 is the Show Classics program. Completing this will get you a big bump in the Season 2 reward path. The next one is the Egg Hunt program, all the way back from Easter. The next is doing enough season awards programs to unlock Mookie Betts. Number 4 is collecting 250 Season 1 cards to get the 99cc Sabathia. And lastly is the Season 1 Recap program, which was just dropped, giving us potentially the largest amount of rewards in one single drop that we've ever gotten in MLB the Show. But completing this and getting everything along the program path, those 5 separate collections and programs will get you the 200,000 XP in the Season 2 reward path and your first wildcard spot on June 7th. Remember, it has to be done before June 7th. If you leave a few, it rolls over into Season 2 on June 7th. You will not be able to go back and get the head start that these programs and collections offer. Now, obviously, the biggest change when we switch over to Season 2 is the fact that we can't use any Season 1 cards anymore unless they are in your wildcard spot. However, they did announce that some modes will allow you at times to use any card in your inventory. Now, ranked solo play, that is only going to be for the current season. You will not be able to use any Season 1 card in the Season 2 ranked season programs other than your wildcard spots. However, ranked co-op will be completely open, meaning that you can use any card in your collection if you were to play with a friend or load into co-op, which is a pretty massive announcement because that will allow you to use any card that you've earned throughout the year. Now, Battle Royale events, as well as mini-seasons, showdowns, and conquest maps will at times allow you to use every card in your collection. It will be notated by an ineligible lineup if you were not able to during that specific time, but they did say that there will be moments or events where you can use any card in your collection, so that is something to keep in mind. So now let's talk about what cards you'd want to focus on over the last few weeks before June 7th to give yourself the best advantage going into Season 2. Well, number 1, obviously, the live series collection now becomes much more important at the beginning of seasons, because if you are able to get the 99 Babe Ruth, it is listed as a core card. In Season 2 and any of the seasons following, core cards can be used at any time. So when things switch back over and everyone is unlocking Team Affinity and other diamonds that are in the high 80s, if you've got Babe Ruth completed, you've got a 99 pitcher and hitter that is going to give you a significant advantage for the first few weeks before the content starts to catch up again. Again, it's in 3-month cycles. If you have yet to complete the live series collection and you don't know if it's worth completing now, because these cards are going to be more usable at the start of Season 2, one would have to think that a lot of these diamonds and other cards in the collection are probably going to go up in price rather than down. Now, how high? It's probably not going to be that much, but it is probably not going to be cheaper to complete the live series collection once Season 2 begins, right for that first few weeks. Now, another big question is, should you lock in all of the cards to go after the Season 1 collection? you should at least get to 250 with CC Sabathia, because that is one of the head start requirements, so you'd want to put a focus on that to at least get CC Sabathia. Now, I'll be completely honest, I don't spend any money in the game, and all I've really done is completed all of the offline content over the last few months. I'm not a World Series player, I don't grind BR, and I was able to complete the Live Series collection and 250 cards by just getting anything that's not sellable and locking that in. So if you are looking to work towards that collection over the next little while, make sure you're doing the season awards. Again, doing all of this to get Mookie Betts is part of that head start program, but also you're going to get a ton of Topps Now cards that will go towards CC Sabathia. Also, Team Affinity, there's 90 Team Affinity cards just from Team Affinity alone that will go into that collection. I have a video going over how to finish these as fast as possible. Obviously, Chapter 3 is a little bit more of a grind with those changes, but the fundamentals still stay the same. Stack your lineup with whatever division you're working towards, and make sure you prioritize the bosses as you work towards Team Affinity. Now, something that isn't really talked about an awful lot is this kind of forgotten Hyper Vlad Jr. Now, the Vlad Jr. card is listed as a core card. All of these are, which again, will become much more usable at the start of Season 2 and Season 3 and so forth. Now, this 91 Vladimir Guerrero isn't all that great, and he will be replaced rather quickly into Season 2. However, pay attention to these cards, because everyone wants to chase whatever the highest overall is right at launch, and if Team Affinity cards are going to be at 89 again, like they were in Season 1, these cards will more than likely go up in value. It was noted that Ken Griffey Jr. looks to be getting a 99 in Season 2, so his hyper card is currently at 16.7. It would cost you about 150,000 coins to finish Vladimir Guerrero, but if you just wanted to invest your stubs into something that has the potential to jump up in price, these cards could jump up a few thousand stubs in that first week of Season 2. Now, in terms of what programs to focus on the most, this Season 1 recap is just absolutely absurd. The amount of diamonds that you will get from this alone, again, I had done all of the prior offline content, and at the drop of it, I basically got Buxton almost immediately, and it gave me another 47 diamonds towards that Season 1 collection. What's kind of crazy is that I don't know if this is a make right for the massive amount of criticism that SDS has gotten over how content is working this year in terms of all the good cards being locked behind packs, but if you spent money in this game in the first few months, you gotta feel slighted, because they basically gave away everything. At the end of the season, you can only use these cards for about 2 weeks, but still, all of those collections and everything that you're working towards, they just gave it to you. So if you spent money, I'd be awfully rattled. And it just goes to show that in Season 2, guys, do not chase after the new hotness. If this is the way that they are going to follow things up, then just wait it out. If you are putting a focus on the Live Series collection, all of these are listed as no sell, except for the Vault Pack. I got insanely lucky and got Ketel Marte out of that, who's still holding strong at about 85,000 stubs. But any of the ones that list as no sell, you can quick sell almost all of them. I was very easily able to finish off the Live Series collection by just quick selling any duplicates or cards that I was able to get that finished off. Now, don't forget, in the store, the Moonshot event is currently taking place, and this was actually a really nice change. They gave us a bunch of common legends that you can use in the event. The pack is free, and it'll net you 6 cards that will go towards the Series 1 collection as well. Another thing to note in the Season 1 recap program, at 115 program points, you'll notice this Season 1 captain pack. If you haven't already, make sure you grab Carlos Santana. He's very cheap in relative price to what he used to be, because this is now a free pack. But ever since they've released him, the switch hitter captain build has been easily the most used because of how effective it is. I would be stunned if they give another switch hitter captain throughout the year. Maybe they will, but it'll probably be behind a paywall. So once you get this pack, obviously if you have any of these other cards that are your favorite players, specifically the Clayton Kershaw lefty captain is actually pretty useful, and David Ortiz, I mean, the GOAT, nonetheless, still strong cards. I would still grab this Carlos Santana, because once they're out of packs, this can be your wild card slot, and then you could throw in other 99 switch hitters like Ketel Marte or Eduardo Escobar and Brian Roberts from Season 3 Team Affinity. Just something to keep in mind. Also, I talked about this on a YouTube short, but make sure, especially for any new players, please go to your unlockables and specifically your jerseys. Go through here and see what silvers and golds that you've got duplicates of, because the silver jersey jerseys, I had almost like 300 duplicates. They sell for 100 stubs a piece. I was able to get 21,000 stubs by just quick selling my silver and gold jersey. Now, double check and make sure they're not going for an excessive amount over the quick sell value, but to just save yourself some time, you're not going to make that much more, and you can quickly get yourself a couple thousand stubs. The same thing applies to your equipment, so if you've got any duplicate silver bats, just go through here, quick sell these, save yourself some time. If you really want to min-max, put them up for the cheapest price, but again, you've got a couple thousand stubs in here if you've been playing the game regularly. Now, also, don't forget that the Jeter storylines, as well as the Negro Leagues, all of those cards are listed as core cards, so the second release of Derek Jeter's storyline, for example, gives you this 90 Derek Jeter core card with great contact, really low power, but a 90 diamond that you've already got for your lineup on day one is going to be definitely usable. So again, if you're just looking to completely prepare yourself, don't forget about the storylines. They're also extremely well done. As a diehard Red Sox fan, it's painful to do the Derek Jeter ones, but I got to admit, they did a really good job on those storylines specifically. And lastly, for anyone just looking for some help on completing these programs the fastest possible, again, I've done an entire video on it, but just to touch on it real quickly, load up your lineup with whatever cards you require. All of these missions, there should be every lineup spot you have should be working towards a goal from the specific program that you're working on. Now, you can double down and do this in Conquest, which isn't as fast, but still pretty quick. But honestly, any of those programs like the season award drops, just go into Rookie, play against the White Sox, find a hitter-friendly ballpark, and just stack up all of the missions that you've got to do, and quit out right when you're done, and it will save and give you all of the rewards once you've completed those missions. So I hope this helps get you ready for Season 2. If you liked the video, feel free to hit me with a subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.